What is happening, guys? Mike here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I got a very special video planned for you fine people, and one that I was very excited to film. Today we're continuing on with the style of video I introduced to you recently with the Paradox video from the Lockharts, which was what I called a brew review, or a Behind the Brew segment mixed with somewhat of a review. You guys seem to really enjoy that, and since our focus today isn't something that I don't want to say something we haven't seen before, because I'm pretty sure we've discussed soap in some capacity in the past, but I don't think we've focused on it quite like this in the past. I thought I'd continue this for today's video. Now, this isn't something that I'm going to do for every Behind the Brew segment, but again, for today's video, it totally makes sense because we're looking at soap. And again, we've looked at a lot of products together here on the channel, but I don't think we've really focused on soap in the capacity, definitely in the capacity that we're looking at today, because today we're not only going to get a look at these bars of soap, but we're going to get a look at how they're made. And really, there are quite a few reasons as to why I was so interested in doing this with this brand, and I think it's better that I just start by showing you what I'm talking about instead of trying to sit here and tell you. Now, I think it's safe to say that these are some of the coolest soaps I've ever seen. I came across these actually when I was visiting the Lockharts, and for those that don't know, the Lockharts recently expanded their site and their actual store into a full-out apothecary where they sell all sorts of awesome stuff, including soaps like this. And while I was up there filming, I was given a bar of their soap to then just look at and test out. It was a really nice gift, and while I was doing that, I just said to myself, this is a brand that I need to look at. And then I found out later that they're actually made in Michigan, not too far actually from the Lockhart shop. So when I was up there the last time, I was actually able to set up a shoot with their owner, which I was super stoked about because I had never seen soap being made in person. And I especially wanted to know about how this soap gets made because of the really unique look to the soap. I wanted to know more about that and just kind of get educated on the process. And so I just thought it would make for an awesome episode, and I think you guys are really going to be pleased with what I've got for you today. Now, I think before we get into any type of demo or talking about actually washing with any of these soaps, we better just take a look at how they're made, since that's the reason why we're here. Let's just be honest. We're not here to wash our hands. We're here to see how these awesome soaps get made. Since this is technically brewing footage, I do need to give my disclaimer though before we jump into that. This is not meant to be a tutorial of any kind. Things like formula details and measurements are left out on purpose to protect the brands participating, and any questions about measurements or how much of whatever they use or making your own product, anything related to that subject will not be answered, so don't waste your time with that. But with that being said, let's now get a look at how these beautiful soaps get made. Here we go. All right, that's pretty much it. That's how these awesome soaps are made, which personally I thought was very cool. As far as actually reviewing them, I gave this a lot of thought, and these aren't really like hair products where I can test the hold and, you know, shine, endurance, things like that, but I can for sure tell you my thoughts on it regarding actually using them. So I decided that's really what I was going to do, and I'm actually going to be using the Dapper Dan bar for that reason. This is one of my favorite bars that they make. I've only smelled, you know, 6 or 8 of the ones that they make because they have a lot, but out of the ones that I've got here, this one is my favorite. The scent is just awesome. It's a smooth mix of exotic woods, musk, oak moss, and rose, which kind of sounds like a crazy mixture if you think about it, but somehow brought together, it just smells fresh, manly. I don't even smell I have a terrible nose, but I don't even smell the rose. They actually say it smells like getting your hair expertly coiffed in a Prohibition era barbershop. I think that's pretty much it. That's what I think of when I smell it. I think that's a very good description. But again, this one's my favorite, so this is the one I'm gonna test out real quick. So let's head on over and see this in action. So for this demo, there's honestly not much to actually show you guys here because really it's just soap. But here's a look at the bar up close, and as I run it under some water and move it around in my hands, it begins to lather as expected. And I guess really the only two things that I think that stand out to me is somewhat unique here is how soft my skin feels pretty much instantly as the soap touches it, and how little you actually need. I think this bar really does go a long way with how much you can get out of the bar and how many uses you can get from it, and I think that adds a lot to the value. Now, some of you guys asked on my Instagram posts and through private messaging, things like that, how these soaps respond to sensitive skin in regards to people that have things like eczema, things like that. And I did ask the brand about that, and what they told me was all of their soaps and the way that they're made are really great for people with sensitive skin. They're made with really great oils and nourishing ingredients like shea butter, and it makes it very ideal for people with skin issues like eczema or other things. They do, though, have 2 specific bars. They said if you have really sensitive skin and have to really watch what you use, they do have 2 bars for people like that. And actually, I don't have them here, but they said it's on their site. It's the Oatmeal Milk and Honey and Almond Vanilla bars, and I will put those in the description along with everything else that we're talking about today for you guys that may need those. And that actually brings me to another point, something else that I really enjoy about this brand, and that's the price point. I couldn't believe when I saw on their site that each one of these soaps only cost $7. I would have guessed that they're at least 8, 9, maybe even $10, but they're only 7, and I think that's a very awesome price. Of course, as usual, I do have also a discount code to give you guys. That'll be in the description. That's worth 10% off, so I think it just makes a good situation even better if you guys are interested in picking any of these up, but I think they're very fairly priced. I know some of you are going to look at that and say, well, that's actually a little expensive for a bar of soap, but you guys just saw how much work goes into it, all the craftsmanship, the artistic value is there in my opinion, so I think $7 is a steal for what you're getting out of these soaps. Overall, I just gotta say I love what they've done with this brand. I really enjoy finding brands and finding products that I just really think were done well. That's my favorite part about doing this channel, is finding awesome products and then bringing it to you guys, and I think I definitely found one with this brand. I really enjoy their soaps. I love the scents, and surprisingly, with my scent allergy, something that I've discussed very heavily here on this channel, the fact that I'm allergic to a lot of scents, I can't believe that these don't choke me up more than, you know, they do. Some of them, I'm not gonna lie, some of them do a little bit, but it's not the same thing as what I'm used to experiencing, and it really wasn't bad. So I think that has a lot to say about the way that they make their fragrances and the care and expertise they put into crafting these fragrances and the soaps along with it. I think it's very well done, and for somebody like me that struggles with fragrances, I think they've done a great job. That is it though for today's episode. As always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you tap that like button for me, and of course, if you haven't yet subscribed, you definitely need to do that. There's a button down there in the corner, and there's one underneath the video. 2 buttons, they do the same thing. Just go ahead and tap on one of them if you haven't already, and join us. Lastly, I want to thank you guys for stopping by the channel today and checking out this video. I will of course be back with you guys again very soon. Until then, take it easy. I'll see you next time.